Well, we are live. Hi, I'm joined with Marlene Allen. And for those of you meeting me for the first time, I'm Nicola Grace, the Mission Mentor. Marlene Allen, hi, how are you?
Wonderful. Thank you, Nicola. I really appreciate this opportunity to share this information with you and your guests today and to get this information out.
Yeah, it's really important. We're going to be talking about gremlins, computer gremlins, and how they sabotage us, and who are they, why are they there, what's going on, and what we can do to secure ourselves when we're doing our online marketing efforts, so that these don't affect us and frustrate us, because they certainly frustrate us. And one of the reasons why I've asked Marlene to come and have this interview is because I know personally firsthand how much money you can lose and how much it can affect your business and even affect your health, having to deal with all of these frustrations of things like emails going missing and then all of a sudden they appear again, and folders going missing, files going missing, and then they appear again. Really time consuming and frustrating when you're trying to find something really fast. Or when you're about to launch or take a really important interview, all of a sudden your internet goes down, or your computer gets a virus, or your website gets hacked. And all of these little weeny sabotage things that are happening on the computer and online and what have you, we laugh and joke about it and go, oh, that's gremlins. And we do, don't we? We say, oh yeah, look, it's those technology gremlins. But what if it really is technology gremlins? What if there is something happening behind the scenes? Because I think it's important for us to know this, because it changes the way we go about our business. Just like we have an insurance policy for the equipment in our business, if there was this such thing as gremlins out there, we would have some kind of insurance policy that prevents us from being at the effect of that kind of adversity. So we're going to be talking a lot about the ins and outs of what's going on. We're going down a rabbit hole. We're going to find a rabbit warren, and we're going to go down the rabbit warren and talk about it, so that we can get to this point where we go, yes, these are the things that I need to put in place to secure my business, to make sure that I am going to be able to conduct my business online without all of this technology frustration, and certainly without all of the technology sabotage that happens. So Marlene, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and how you came to know all of what you know about what's going on behind the scenes?
Okay. Well, I learned about this the hard way, as do probably most of us do. Working in my business for, 70, 80-hour weeks, for weeks and months and years on end, things just started happening to me and didn't really understand it at the time, but did a lot of research, did a lot of training, did a lot of my own clearing, and came up with an actual protocol to help not only myself, which I did, but now I'm able to assist other people in this same thing. So I will share my screen. Can you see that?
Yes, how to get rid of technology gremlins so your online efforts flow towards sales, not sabotage.
Yes. And that may sound a little far out to some people, but many people now are waking up. So it's time to get the information out there to folks so that they know what's really true. And as Nicola mentioned, I am Marlene Allen. I am the owner of a marketing company and have been assisting thousands of business owners for over 20 years with their advertising and marketing, and in the last 10 years exclusively in the online and website presence. I met a lot of owners. I know what works, what doesn't work. And the small business owner and the entrepreneur are actually my passion. We are the key, actually, to changing the world. Besides the geeky side of me, I brought my spiritual side, out of the closet. And because I've known since I was a child that, there were some things that worked according to the law of nature, and I studied and experienced, many formats of healing and energy, quantum work more exclusively. And for the last several years, I've been assisting spiritual entrepreneurs mainly, and quantum experts, actually, such as Sherry and Shara of quantumpathic.com and Julie Renee of julierenee.com, and assisting them with their high vibe websites and their online sites. By creating and illuminating their sites with expanded frequency and vibration, they enjoy the regular income with a predictable, hack-free operation of their business and of their revenue-generating, shopping carts, which we can't really afford to have those down for very long. So that is a plus for why I'm doing this. Now, I've discovered in my research so that, what's going on is not out in the open. And that, plus my passion for small businesses and entrepreneurs with a message, is why I am on a mission to illuminate the planet of darkness. So I know that sounds like a huge task.
It is a huge task, Marlene. And how did you discover that mission by chance?
Well, actually, Nicola Grace was instrumental in helping me with right mission, right money. I knew it inside, but she drug it out of me.
Yeah, Marlene. But just to let you know, guys, Marlene came was one of the people clients on my Right Mission, Right Money program, which helps you clarify and monetize your mission so you can leave a legacy. And we worked about really both of us at this stage coming out and starting to talk about what's going on. So Marlene's coming out of the closet around the spiritual woo-woo stuff that she knows as a business owner, and I'm coming out of the closet. So we had this wonderful time together, didn't we? And here we are as a result of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. And I've been working with, many clients. I just didn't have the name, I didn't put the, illuminating, the path for messengers and people, entrepreneurs that are trying to get their message out into the world. So this is huge for me. And I love what I'm doing. So I'm also increasing awareness of the dark intentions that so many of us are not talking about, and even if we have heard about that, we're just not saying anything about it, which is actually keeping us locked in mediocrity and unable to, fully express our, our unique abilities or our businesses or our message. So.
Absolutely. And I know for me, the year from hell where everything just kept collapsing on me, if you watch my blog video, I talked about how every time I would go and do an important interview or I would launch a product, a whole lot of technology sabotage began to happen, so much so that by the end of the year I wrote How to Overcome Sabotage. But it finally made me go, you know what, I have to come out of denial. And I think you've mentioned this in some of your notes, Marlene, that if you're thinking something, chances are it's true. Like if you go, it's almost as if there's a ghost sitting on my modem, stopping me from accessing the internet. Like if we had those random thoughts, I've discovered the majority of the time that's exactly what's going on. And wouldn't you agree? We've got to come out of denial and start talking about this, Marlene.
Totally, yes. A lot of people, it just doesn't sound like anything they've heard of before, so they just don't figure, well, that just can't be. It's got to be me, my equipment or something, yeah. Interference, well, what is interference, so... that's what we're going to be going into today. So, and that is what we do, or what I do, is I clear the path to stable visibility for online businesses and to provide a solid online platform or foundation for their online marketing by clearing their technology, their websites, their offices, and themselves of interfering dark energy and entities, and to allow them a means to get their message out to more people globally, without being sabotaged. So, and this expands, obviously, their ability to get their products and programs out there and services in the marketplace, and that benefit us in various ways more than the potentially harmful, corporate and mainstream products or, the medical treatments that they have, forced on us, if you will. So this is my mission. So it allows me to touch and reach people that resonate with that message and become involved in further expanding their message and reach. And as a result, they can increase their creativity to implement and manifest new ways of doing things and bringing to market products and services that actually benefit humans in new and exciting, unlimited ways. So yeah, this is so important. This is why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So if you will, let's begin today.
Oh, Marlene, I think I muted you. Sorry, you're unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's just start with what is happening now today on the planet. This is so interesting, and to give you a better picture of how it's affecting our technology and our businesses online. This is a diagram of what's known as the photon belt, and it's a band of highly charged, highly concentrated, immensely powerful photon or light energy, which is electromagnetics and gamma rays. And it comes around only approximately 11,000 years, and we are in it. We entered it actually in 1962. So if you've heard of, the Age of Aquarius, or, sung by the Fifth Dimension, whatever, back in the 60s, that's what they were talking about, and it's real. It wasn't just a, hit song back then.
Right.
But very little information has been given to us about that. So, I don't know, possibly preventing us from understanding or, our future or determining our destiny or whatever. But we received information from a lot of different people in the know that, during these years there will be, truth bringers, and, by the will of our free will of us, we chose whether or not to allow the laws of creation, and should the civilization fail to reach the level of complete harmony and balance with the laws of creation, then the planet is swept clean of all darkness as it passes through the photon belt. So that's the theory. And, as the planet again enters the next 11,000 year period, a new civilization is born again on the planet. So these things happen, and, they're documented. So if you want to research it, go online and look it up. But because of its abundance and beauty, Earth was chosen as a type of prison planet for, the dark forces, for anarchy and that type of purpose. So, and then their merry men band of supporters came along, and then the dark agenda is the basic reason why Earth has never been able to reach harmony and balance. And because of this, luckily for us, some celestial masters, if you will, have returned to Earth at this time to assist us in conquering the darkness. So I have assistance in what I do. So yay!
Yay!
I'll talk about that, but anyway, so it's necessary, and right now Earth is increasing her vibration, and that's necessary to move us into the fifth dimension, and Earth will eventually be swept clean of all third dimensional humans and their civilizations as she moves into fifth dimension. Right. Exactly how that's going to happen, I'm not the total expert on that, but one great reference to check out is Cosmic Disclosure Show on Gaia TV. That's GAIA TV.
Love that.
Yeah,
love that show.
Yeah, absolutely. Great resource. And then also in 5D, that's in5d.com. They're a whole database of information about current events and what we don't hear on mainstream media. So go check those out and get some more information on this. And in this period of time, it's causing great difficulty for any unenlightened or evil beings due to their very low frequencies. So much physical and mental upsets are resulting from the clashing of these various frequencies going on. And you yourself may be experiencing some shifts in your own body as you raise your frequency, as we all are. We're all raising our frequency along with the planet. As more photonic light is showered upon the planet, the nervous system must be able to take that current into our bodies, transduce the high energy, and fit it into, inside our body. So that's what we're all doing right now, whether we're aware of it or not. And that electrical current runs through our bodies, through our chakras. And if the chakras are blocked, then we may not feel like we have any energy, and we may begin to experience what they call ascension symptoms. They could be dizziness, floating, headaches, weird sensations. Yet many people out there are walking around like, Walking Dead or whatever, just like nothing's going on, although they may go to a doctor, or, because of symptoms and get who knows what type of medications. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and this is a real thing too. Oh, I love the slide, awakening people. This is a really real thing, because energetically, every time we go through some kind of an energetic shift in the world and in the constellation or what have you, I do feel the upgrade, because I'm sensitive and empathic. But I also then find I've got to upgrade my technology. So I either have to clear my technology to upgrade it to me, or I actually have to replace it and get all new technology, because it's not, like we're out of sync with our vibes. And I know this is really happening in the real world, because I know people that work in, those towers. I've just, like, the name has just completely escaped me. But, the control towers for the airports. And they're saying that on a regular basis, they're having to resync all of their equipment because magnetic north is shifting.
Oh,
and nobody's saying anything about that, right?
That's huge.
That's huge. And time is actually shifting. So they have to resync everything to maintain the illusion that nothing's going on, and it's all, we're all going on in the same time grid, and magnetic north is still where we think it is, but it's not. It's actually shifted, and the poles that, there's a lot of talk about the polarity shift, occurring, which has happened historically. That is a fact. It's happened historically before. We've got geologists that are telling us that, historians that are telling us that civilizations have gone through a major upgrade, and some of them didn't make it, and there was a smaller population left to repopulate. So so these are really real things that are happening in the real world, not just in our woo-woo world.
Totally. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We're just not being told. So yeah, go and look that up online. You'll find a lot of information. But the best thing that we can do right now is to stay grounded. So whether that's meditating, eating better food, raising our own frequency of vibration, or
nature.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Wonderful things. Some people are going to energy healers, and they're assisting them greatly, into removing darkness. But, and whether it's physical or energetic, in our energetic bodies, they both require some help right now. So, but make sure that if you do that, if you're going to go get assistance from somebody, make sure that they do have some type of protocol in place so that they can successfully clear out spiritual pests and parasites. And I don't mean to scare anybody with that, but, I only deal with truth. So I think the people on this call are, can handle it. So
I think so too. And on that note, that's probably a really good place to just talk about where I'm coming from. And I know you come from this place too, and that's understanding. So we don't go into like being a victim, right? Understanding that we are creator beings. We've been, we've been groomed to play small and be small and think of ourselves as humans, but we have a greater creative ability, and we are bigger than that which we're talking about. And since, quantum physicists are telling us we're all one, the hippies have been telling us we're one, the sages of the ages have been telling us we're one, what we're talking about when we're talking about darkness, when we're talking about spiritual parasites, when we're talking about the dark agenda, at some level, at the highest truth, we're talking about just another aspect of ourself that has decided to have this creation, to have an experience, so we can come back to point zero and go, yay, I'm just going to be my whole beautiful, light, wonderful, amazing, omnipotent self. So it's important to come from that position, I think, so you don't think that there is something out there attacking you. It's just another aspect of the creation that we have decided to experience until we decide we don't want to experience it anymore.
Yeah, and we're all evolving. We're all going through the same thing. Some of us are a little further along, I guess, the awakening process, or whatever they want to call it. So, just be grateful where we're at, and so forth. But, I I only deal with what's true. So I want to be very certain that, if you're working with somebody that they work with spiritual interferences, and just to put names on them, you can call them entities, demons, aliens, guests, walk-ins, and also they're anchors. They can be anchors, which are embedding, implants, seeds, holographic inserts, and the like. So if you don't deal with all that, you're not really dealing with the whole problem. So one thing you can do is, if you don't feel like it something doesn't feel like yourself, you can always say, this is not me. You can actually say that for 5 minutes. Like if you have a headache, for instance, if you say, this is not me, this is not me, this is not me, for 5 minutes, and while at the same time drinking some water would help too. But that can get rid of a headache, because it really is not you. Those things are not you. And then you can also say that you're sovereign.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's really amazing.
Yes, totally, because we are sovereign, and every other being knows that. So if we claim it, we can keep our space and keep our power with us. So, and we're finding that these interferences, are found in nearly everyone right now. This is kind of an epidemic, and they're causing a myriad of problems, most of which is fear, because that is of a low vibration, and of course that's what they're broadcasting on.
Exactly. Fear farming.
Radio. Yeah, and our media is broadcasting the frequency of fear, which is so low, and distraction and losing focus, and on our mission. It causes anxiety, depression, sleep issues, exhaustion, almost every disease, and the list goes on. So Earth's movement through the photon belt is progressing, and she will continue to raise her frequency and light until all darkness is swept away by total light. So this is the thing to.
Wow. Do you have any idea how long it's going to take? I'm sure we're all saying, can it just be over? Can we get it over with? Can we be there now?
I know. Those of us in the know, that's what we've been doing for months now, going, anytime now, any day now, I'm ready, I've been ready.
Over ready, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, let's speed this up.
If I was a steak, I'd be burned.
Yeah. But because amazingly what I do is similar to what the photon belt is, by utilizing the quantum field, I also clear the darkness and allow the light to cleanse and clear out issues, to allow each of us that desire a better life to be able to move more easily into the fifth dimension.
Yeah, nice.
So whether our issues are physical, emotional, energetic, financial, they're all energy. So, and how long you remain in the darkness is your choice, actually, because the teacher is no longer required when there are no students. So we have no time left to deny the truth of Earth's raising frequency and the influence of the photon belt. It's here. Your entire focus for eons of time to come, or at least the next 11,000 years if you want to stay behind, is dependent at this moment in time upon our choices concerning our conscious connection. So this is something very, not to take lightly at all. This is important.
Yeah. And just to get, because for people who know me, I am an activist. I'm the person who's monetized my activism. The whole thing about global warming, I mean, my understanding is that passing through the photon belt is the real reason why the Earth's core is heating up. It's because it's increasing its frequency, and the whole thing about carbon emissions is just really about taxing the people so they can make more money, and more money goes through the banks, right? So they make a lot of money. It's not actually about cleaning up the planet, which is what we need to do. We need to clean up the planet, but we're going through this thing called global warming, mostly because of this going through the photon belt, right?
Exactly. Yes. And they say that it is the Earth's natural cleansing process.
Yeah.
Well, so she may be cleaning up her air, her water.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like a forest has a natural fire cycle. It creates a fire to do a little bit of a burn up.
Yeah. So this is the beauty of it, really. And it's something to just go, yay.
Yeah. Yeah. not that we shouldn't not that we shouldn't clean up the air and make sure that the polluters are doing their job, because we need to clean up the air so we can breathe fresh air and be healthy, but not tax the people so because of this, to try and stop global warming. That's ridiculous.
Exactly. Yes, you're right. That's total bunk. But today, however, we do have the real threat that, from the darkness that is still here. And it seems to be getting bolder. There's more bolder attempts out there. And it seems like the dark forces might be realizing that they need to beef up their efforts, to keep their foothold and control on us. So that's where we see things with our technology, gremlins and so forth. So, but after massive research, I know many ways that we can manage ourselves and our businesses utilizing these same techniques that they're using. So
it's crafty.
Yeah, and these, of course, many of us have maybe never heard of these laws of nature before, but that's by perfect design, actually, to keep us in control. And, because what would happen if many of us entrepreneurs could actually achieve our missions and, be able to assist humanity. And, we could have things like, free energy, for example, which has been suppressed and hidden from us, to keep the fossil fuel boys all, rolling in their billions upon trillions. And while we hover in a corner somewhere in our living room with our families trying to stay warm in the winter with the thermostats turned down, to save money. But many of us entrepreneurs with a message or, have any service that we, products or services that can actually raise the frequency and consciousness of the planet. And also as small business owners have a knowing that this is not exactly what, was intended for us humans. And we actually have answers to many of our problems right now. And with just some leverage, we could be playing in that same ballpark, as the fat cats and enjoying the same benefits of abundance and prosperity.
And I think that's really important, Marlene, because, like what I've observed is that as spiritual people have gone down the path of developing themselves and waking up and what have you, and then sort of turning away from money values and capitalist values, there has been this departure that's created more greed. We've fed the greed, or we feed the greed when we don't include money for the remainder of the days that money is in our lives. Because I think of this whole idea, the universe abhors a vacuum. So we create the vacuum by not participating in it. And therefore, we don't bring our light to it. We don't bring our awareness to it. We don't transform it from the inside. And so we feed the greed. And so the greedy have got greedier and have taken more and more and more money. And the people have got less and less money. And so we go, oh, well, I don't care about money. And it's like, well, money, I think we need to care about money for the remainder of the time that we have it for that reason alone. And that is so that we take our fair share, we fill the void so that greed doesn't continue to be fed. I mean, that's just my take on it.
Yeah, I love that. Well said. Thank you, Nicola. Yeah. And, we, of course, will be doing it with, to assist people using these same laws. And, from light and love and from the lighter vibration of our heart and not from the low frequency of control and greed, like you just said. Mm. So, and it's been said that, of a certain percentage of us that can become conscious and aware that we can turn the corner and take back our power. And not only for us, but also for our businesses and, for the children of the next generation. So important. And I know of no better way than for us to also take advantage of those same laws of nature and benefit from them the way they were intended. And that would be for the betterment of humanity and for our beautiful Mother Earth.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Now, there's no question that small businesses have been suppressed and we've been targeted for failure. This is not... Wow.
Now, that's something I've always thought of, but you've nailed it. Targeted for failure. Because the statistic used to be 50% of all businesses fail. Now it's 80%.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah,
that's a huge increase.
That's huge. Totally huge. Wow, 80%.
They've been targeted. They've been targeted to fail. Is that right?
For failure. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, they must be beefing up their efforts.
Yeah, we're gonna deal with that at Quantum Game Changer. We're gonna next week we'll look at that. We'll go into the template on that one and clear that program. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, there are deliberate attempts at shutting down sources on the web and locally that inform the public about our true power as humans. And these are things that they don't want you to really know about, and they've done a darn good job of it, for many years, keeping this information from us regular folks, if you will. But if you have a message for the public about how we can improve our lives, how we can become aware of and how to use our power, or you're just making a lot of money in your business and you're not one of them, then you or your online property may be a target for these dark energetic forces.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's certainly something that I've experienced. I mean,
yeah.
That's why I constantly clear. I'm clearing daily, weekly, because I am constantly being targeted, for sure. Mm-hmm. And I felt that. And it took me a year to come out of denial that that's what was going on.
Yep. There's some people that are now becoming aware, such as yourself, but the majority of us are not. So that's why I'm here and getting this word out.
Yeah. And Marlene, some of my thought processes have gone down the track of, like gremlins and everything. They work through humans too. Because if you remember when this bill that was going through, it was going through many governments around the world for surveillance, the digital surveillance bill, where they wanted all of the ISPs to spy on their clients and maintain their metadata. And big companies like WordPress, Aweber, Reddit, all stood up and actually became active, got together and started saying, hey, don't think that's in the spirit of the free internet. And they campaigned and lobbied against government. And then literally within about 4 weeks of doing that, all of those sites went down. WordPress sites were constantly getting hacked into. They continue to get hacked into if you don't keep upgrading. They're upgrading more and more. Usually you used to have a WordPress upgrade once a year. Now it's almost every month. Reddit went down. Aweber went down. And to me, anything that happens in creation, from my understanding, is there's consciousness behind it. So my thought process went into there's consciousness behind attacking these businesses that are standing up. And you're saying that this is happening across the board, not just the big businesses that are standing up against the system, but also the people who're getting messages out into the world that are going to make a difference and create a better world. They're also being targeted as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. If I see a lot of hacking attempts, I'm the owner of a marketing company, and I do see a lot of hacking attempts on websites in particular that have certain keywords in them, such as divine, or if they have some type of alternative healing type of practice.
Sure.
And I've been clearing websites and online properties of dark and non-beneficial energies from the sites on my server, and as well as keeping them upgraded, the plugins updated, which it's a daily thing. But I don't fight them. And that's the thing, is that there's no fight or battle here. I come from a place of love and holding a very high frequency. And that raises then the frequency and the vibration of the website. So it raises it obviously above the, fear-based low vibe that has actually been attracting low vibe pests and parasites into your sites that repel customers. So it's called distraction versus attraction.
Nice.
Yeah. And, in my 20 plus years of experience, I've discovered that there are malevolent intentions and energy disruptors that labor the big money corporations and block spiritual type entrepreneurs and small business owners who are making a difference in the world, as we talked about. So, if you've experienced any of these, sites crash or they get hacked into right before you do a launch, internet connection failures right when you're about to, lead a webinar.
all of that. And as I said in my video blog, you know, like the transition from my video on my camera to the internet, it's had a male alien voice speaking out of me, so I couldn't use that video to launch. So I had to go to launch without a video.
Oh, okay.
That's when I had to come out of denial. At that stage, I went, okay, something's going on here.
That's not me. That's not me. That's not me. Yeah, you know, and files go mysteriously missing, or, you know, your computer just sits and spins, and, you know, for things happen for no apparent reason that you've done anything wrong. And, you know, and people think, oh, geez, you know, it's got to be my computer, or, you know, I'm not getting customers because it's my sales funnel, or they throw more money at getting traffic and advertising and that type of thing. And, you know, although, you know, we look at, you know, those things as well. And, but, you know, it's not just that. So we're going to look at a client. This is Sherry Anshara of quantumpathic.com, and she is in an alternative type healing category, and her website was going live a few months back, and at the same time the pages were coming down one by one as fast as we could put them up. And I'm not going to mention what corporation names we saw connected to this scheme behind it, but you could just say that they are in direct opposition to this client's healing methods.
Wow.
You know,
so stop. So you're saying that you've got software or the ability to look and track back what companies are actually attacking the natural health industry.
Yeah, the names came up.
Wow. Now, I know you're not going to say it, but I bet Merck, Pfizer, GlaxoSmithKline.
You have some good theories there. But yeah, so we took some actions quickly, and you know, because this was an emergency situation, I and a team member, we went to work on her website and cleared it. And, you know, worked on it until we could get it to 100%. These were the actual text messages on my phone saying 9/11 critical, sites under attack, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's, you know, urgent. And, you know, this has been now 3 months ago. And with some regular tune-ups, we don't see these hacking attempts anymore on this site. Yeah, there's always a few, you know, people who are always trying to sign into your website, whether they're the same type of businesses or not, I don't know for a fact, but there's always a few little things going on up there, but nothing as major as what has occurred when this site was trying to go live. So, and now she's already done some of the work connected with the laws of nature herself, the owner of this site, and you know, that we talked about, the darkness knows of and uses backwards for their schemes. And so she has a very high vibration, as this image shows here. But let's check out the scale, and this is not a very clear image, but this is a scale of frequency in humans. Starts at 0, which is death, and moves on up. You know, grief 75, fear is at 100. Okay, and then moving up into 500 is love, and that's where we'd like to be. You know, if we can all be at 500, that would be a wonderful world. 1,000, they say, is God consciousness. So anywhere on that slide.
Love or above?
Love or above. I love it. Okay, so now let's take a look at some websites online.
Oh, is your website scaring people away? Now, I've had first-hand experience with this, because I do Facebook advertising for my Right Mission, Right Money program, and I was going gunbusters. My ads were doing really well. I was getting lots of sign-ups. I was getting high conversion, and then all of a sudden, it stopped. And I mean, it literally stopped. And not only was I was still getting lots of Facebook people, you know, people coming to the page, but all of a sudden the sign-up stopped. Not one. like not one. And when I did a clearing session on it, I found this being sitting on it, literally flicking people away. So if you've ever gone to do something, right, you go, oh, I'm going to sign up for this. I'm going to sign up for this program. I'm going to fill out this form and go to this webinar. And all of a sudden you've got distracted and you're going, oh, and then you've forgotten all about it. That's this energy being that's distracting you from, one, getting the help that you need to advance your business, and two, the business owner getting the clients so that they can serve them to, you know, complete their mission and shift, you know, shift what's going on for that business owner and obviously make money. And I'm going, oh my goodness, that is not cool. That's anti-competitive. But of course, you can't take that to the courts, can you? You could say, oh, hey, judge, there's this being sitting on my opt-in page, just like that pinball machine, flicking all my customers away, and I'm not getting any sales.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, totally. It happens. And we as a business owner think, oh, it's happening to us. But yes, you're absolutely correct in saying it's the people who could be, you know, assisted by what we have to offer that are no longer in our, you know, in our field anymore to offer that assistance.
To get the help. Yeah, I know, because I survey my database a lot and I hear this a lot. They go, oh, I was going to do that program and then I just forgot, or something happened, or I got distracted, or I, you know, like I couldn't find my way back to it. And I'm going, this is really crafty and it's not cool. I mean, this is not cool.
And where are we getting that distraction from? We're getting it from the broadcast TV stations. We're getting it from video games. We're getting it from, you know, the Wi-Fi coming through our smart meter, all over the place. So it's lowering our frequency, or attempting to lower our frequency to keep us dumbed down.
Yeah. So, you know, like, so this is why I clear all the time, Marlene. This is why I really wanted to introduce you to my people, because they need you. It's like you're the insurance policy to make sure that your business keeps running. Just like, you know, you'd pay an IT person, or you'd get antivirus software. We kind of need anti-being scaring away software or something.
Anti-gremlin software.
Which is you. That's what you do, right?
On the software. Now, let's take a look at some websites. I can test and tell you what the frequency is of different websites. Something, I don't know who this guy is, but he's only at 130. The one below it is a hospital. It's a Spanish hospital. They're only at 50. Now, a hospital is at 50. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me, but yeah.
Yeah. Yoga is a little better at 270. And here's one of those, all these cancer centers popping up all over across the country, only at 110. Now, what did we say 100 was? Fear. So they're set at the frequency. Yeah. LAX 280.
Oh, that's interesting. That must be because of the consciousness of all the hippies passing through.
Maybe true. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. And then here's a mainstream bank on the lower left corner. They're at 330. But I thought this was interesting. A credit union was set at 490.
Wow.
You know, and it could maybe be the design, the website design crew too. You never know if what they did.
Or the admission. Yeah.
Could be, yeah. And I found it interesting that the credit union is different from a mainstream bank.
So. What do you think our current presidential candidate's website? Oh, I know what's going to happen here. Show us. This is awesome.
Well, you know, this would be, and seriously, I don't remember the order anymore of who they are, but I tested Trump, Hillary, and Bernie Sanders.
Of course, you had to.
Yeah. Okay. I do remember the bottom one was Hillary.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. But that's pretty high, 310.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Bernie has to be 350.
Yeah, he is. And then Trump is 320.
Right.
Yeah. But, you know, and that's willingness. That's at the willingness, you know.
Yeah.
So they're willing to help us, I guess. Now here's one, the one I was telling you about that her website was going down.
Yeah.
We cleared her site and then we set her frequency at 960 is what it happens to be. Actually, she wanted a little higher, so we've got it way high, but I think we have to come down a little bit more just to resonate with most people.
So people could see you, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but and then we did not do this website. However, it is a client of ours, and we set their frequency at 950 because we had been getting a lot of email notices that their site was being targeted. So we set that higher for them. And it's not just websites, but this person had a webinar that they were going to do, and you can see that having technical difficulties prevented us from stratting the live stream.
Wow.
I think they're a little nervous there by misspelling, so now they're getting out the replay, it looks like. So yeah, anything you're doing online. Also, it's your offline business too. It's your environment. It's your office. You're sitting in your office environment, and you're having a relationship with your technology, and you have all this office equipment and all the machines that are around you spewing out electromagnetic frequencies all day, and they're into your creative and wealth generating space. So, over 97% of the cases that I see, this setup is not beneficial to you, your staff, your clients, your health, or your income.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, some good examples are, using frequency patches on your equipment, moving away from your Wi-Fi router, moving it further away from your head, if you will, in your office, or hardwiring your computer by Ethernet cable, which is what I do. I run my computer that way anyway. It's more secure as well. But also eliminating your fluorescent lighting in your offices, that's messing with you as well, and using, opting for natural lighting source.
Natural lighting or LED lighting. I use all LED lighting in mine. I don't use those stupid environmentally friendly light bulbs. I don't understand how mercury can be environmentally friendly.
No, I think that was just another false for us. But there are also, and maybe more importantly, energetic clearings that we do to move the energies beneficially, affecting the molecules in the quantum field in your office. So, to clear out uninvited guests.
I've had a big fat black potato sitting on my internet, and my internet was going around and around and around and around. And I've just gone into the energy field, and I've gone, man, what's causing that? Because I called my ISP, and they said, we can't find the problem. There isn't a problem our end. And then I saw this big being, and I just looked at it, and I just went, man, what are you doing there? And like I'm at the point, Marlene, now where I help them, because if they're sentient, like if it's just projected thoughts from, malevolent companies or ourselves, self-sabotaging and all that kind of thing, then you clear it. But do you find too, if you're actually dealing with beings that are sentient, then I kind of like to recruit them to come on over to the light side. And so I said to a conversation to this being, I said, listen, I don't know why you're doing what you're doing. Essentially, you're a slave to somebody, right? You're taking orders and you're a slave. You're fat. Nobody loves you. Everybody's trying to get rid of you. And then why don't you come on over here? We've got organic food. It tastes good. We've got superfoods. We've got chocolate. We got some really good stuff over here. And I just did this auditing process where I brought it back into its natural evolutionary process. And I kid you not, within seconds, I had my internet service back and it was working fine. Mm-hmm. So, this stuff is weird, but, it is what it is, I guess.
And we do have that power. We have that power to do that, what you just experienced. Yeah. And then also, maybe your environment in your office, maybe you've just the low vibe energy from the owners that just went out of business in that same building, or moved out prior to you moving in. So you don't know whose energy was there before you. Yeah. And this energy affects you and your business success more than you know. You could have a feeling that something's not correct, or you may not know what to do about it and what it's actually costing you. And, just being in front of the computer all the time like that, migraines, headaches, dizziness, there's staff absenteeism for businesses, inability to sleep, depression. It's irritability, people get angry with each other, loss of production, motivation, loss of focus is huge, loss of creativity. What's been lost because we don't have our creative center has been shut down.
Yeah.
We're all running out of our left brain, which is just, rational, doing the same thing over and over and over again. When our right brain is not able to come up with new, innovative.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. It is so, we're missing something. We're missing, goals. We're reduction of income, from not being able to come up with that next new product that would be, something real helpful for people that would sell a lot, if we could just get that out of us and into the market, into the stream. So, but now for the fun part. After addressing the consequences of allowing interfering energies to block creativity and wealth generation in your office space and your technology and your websites and so forth, we turn to you. So your body is also being attacked from sources that can actually believe it or not, leap through the liquid crystal, such as that on your LCD computer monitor or your TV screens. And also from the chemtrails in the sky, that spew out not only harmful chemicals, but nanotechnology.
Viruses, yeah.
And it's essential now more than ever to protect ourselves and our businesses and, your clients and your staff from these behind-the-scenes attacks. So here's where we find a larger list of potential energy vampires, entities, curses, and yes, even worse. And we've seen a lot, more than most people want to know in our experience. So we test to discover what or who is in your physical, emotional, and energetic field. And so this can include clearing your electromagnetic field of the brain. It could be checking and clearing the blood, the meridians, the major energy centers, pumping up your life force. It could be clearing the EMFs from your heart and from your eyeballs that stare at the computer.
Wow, my eyeballs!
Your eyeballs! Here's a tip. You can imagine pink in front of your eyeballs, and that helps soften. Yeah, that's a great way to soften your lenses and keep them from hardening. And then, yes, we even can clear it from your DNA. Then we check for entities, spirits, parasites, pests, and more. And it's all in a day's work for us. Basically, we go about it from a non-emotional observer viewpoint and just casually clear it out for you. So
nice.
We don't get all emotional, oh my God, this is whatever. No. And like you said, we can, just understand who they are or what they're doing. So, coming from that awareness. And then once people feel the difference, at that point, they remember what they used to feel like. We're so numb right now, we don't really recall it, but once these things are relieved from us, we then can feel, hey, my vitality, energy again, like we were, kids, or at least in our 20s anyway.
Yeah. Creativity, clarity of thought, ability to focus. I mean, ADD is rampant. ADD is rampant, and Facebook's a really big supporter of creating ADD.
Oh, yes.
Especially Facebook Messenger.
Yep. And, this can be a freeing thing. It can be taking our power back. And it's huge to be in control of our own body and our own feelings again. It's the way it was supposed to be. It was meant to be as humans. So, and you can now raise your frequency and vibration to be in alignment with what's happening with Mother Earth and the movement into the fifth dimension of lightness. Gorgeous. So that's why this is so huge, to get this stuff out of your stuff, so that you can raise up and be in alignment with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So it's all within you. It's beautiful. It's real. And it's you. It's you. So once you tap into that, you'll wonder, how you've been performing up until now.
Yeah.
And so perhaps, you have a belief system running or a belief program in your bloodline that says that you must work hard for a living, or perhaps your financial set point is too low for your business goals or dreams. And that's something that is something we can clear as well. There's a gal that I spoke with yesterday, for example, and I told her, we got to go back. And I told her what I was doing, and she mentioned that she wanted me to check her set point, and I told her, I think it's between 75 and 80,000. And she sat there for a moment and said, well, that's exactly what I'm making.
Wow.
So how is she going to accomplish these goals for her new business she's expanding into if she can't get any higher than what she's already doing? It's going to fail for her. So there's a set point that has been given to us as well that we're not even aware of.
Oh, I just got goosies on that one. Absolutely. Because we have the financial set point for women of not exceeding our mother's income if our mother's worked.
Yeah.
Then we have the financial set point of not exceeding our father's income. Then we have and these are all glass ceilings that we have to break through. Then we have the financial set point of you're not allowed to make six figures because only a certain number of people on the planet are allowed to make six figures, just as only a certain number of people are allowed to make $1 million. So when somebody goes bankrupt, somebody else can become a millionaire. But essentially the numbers actually, the wealth has never ever really increased that in hands of people, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, totally. Yeah. So, we raised her frequency, her set point to several $100,000. So now she has some room to grow, into this new business idea that she has. And so, later we can even come back and do some more work if we'd like to go, a little higher. So, you first go into the field, the quantum field, and then we test. And then we tell you what we find. So then we go to work with the most important things or whatever your goals are, for your business, what we discuss. And they could be, it could be you're irritable, you're angry, you're exhausted. It could be that you have a lack of focus or a loss of emotion or self-expression has gone and you just pick up this gray machine energy. I know myself from being in front of the computer so many hours a day for so long, that happened to me. I took on a gray machine energy and you can actually look great. Yeah, so people, some geeks, if you will, they look great. That's what's happening to them. It's real. And lots of productivity, motivation, cutting off our intuitive abilities and stifling the creative ideas, the pineal gland, the calcification. You've probably heard about that, as well as customers feeling bad vibes.
Yeah.
And you never know why you lost business. You have no idea. You're blaming something that it probably doesn't have anything to do with.
Wow.
Yeah. And so then after addressing the consequences of allowing interfering energies to block our creativity and our wealth generation in our office space, and then removing it from our technology and from your website, we turn to you. So your body is also being attacked. Or, excuse me, this is Deepak.
I was going to say, your body's also being attacked. So, Deepak Chopra.
Well,
he talks about the quantum field, but yeah.
Everyone knows Deepak. Yeah, he definitely talks about the quantum field. And he says that the self-interacting, self-knowing capacity of our existence finds a parallel in some of the progressive models of quantum mechanics, where a dynamic field of pure potentiality lies at the basis of all manifestation of physical existence.
Yeah.
So he's trying to explain the quantum theory, but quantum physics and quantum mechanics, or the quantum theory, including the quantum field theory, is a scientifically proven fundamental branch of physics concerned with processes involving atoms and photons, for example, and things that they're non-local, really. So that's why you can affect a change somewhere else. You don't have to be in the same room. Like the majority of the work I do, I don't have to be there. I don't have to be in somebody's office. I don't have to touch somebody's computer at all. As a matter of fact, I prefer not to touch anything.
Yeah, you can do it remotely because you go into the field because all the field is everywhere.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So, we're able to go into the field, pick up what's there, and then do the clearings virtually on what we find. So now, is that more than you really wanted to know? I mean, we don't really need to go through all of the quantum theory to know how it works. We just need to know that it produces results. So you don't need to know how your electricity works when you flip on the switch. You don't really need to have a degree in quantum physics to know that this does work. However, I am a certified master quantum activator, and a lot of research has gone into that. But just having the protocol is what we're concerned about here. So I know the techniques, and that manipulating the energy particles with a specific intention using the quantum principles does produce a desired result. So that's what we're going after here.
Awesome. And it's the difference between making $30,000 in sales and making $1 million in sales. This is my personal experience. I have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential sales over the last few years because of what you've been talking about, because of cyber attacks right when I'm launching. And I know how much I've lost because when I don't get attacked, I know how much I make. So if I times that by the amount of times I've done launches, it's like it is hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it just means that this is just another thing that business owners, spiritual business owners, small business owners, social entrepreneurs, we just need to just face the facts and go, until we get to the other side of this, this is part of our business. Just like we boot up our computer every day, we need to clear our websites, clear our energy field on a regular basis, because this is constantly coming in at us, right? It's not a one fix and then it's forever done. It's like something consistent. So what do you have, and what do you suggest that's going to help people get clear, get their websites high vibe, and then help them on an ongoing basis stay stable so they can continue to increase their sales?
Well, I do have a package that I put together just for your group, Nicola.
Thank you.
Just real quickly, here's Val Dawson. She had a website that wasn't getting any, it's something like you were just talking about. And so now she's booked more clients than she has in the last 10 months, immediately after the clearing we did, which was incredible. And Joan, we did her office building. She had a real difficult co-worker she had there, and she's saying that she's now starting to, the fog is lifted, the brain fog, and she's starting to complete tasks, and she's not yelling at her computer anymore. So folks, don't yell at your computer. That's just one thing we're gonna be a very important thing, is their relationship to your technology. But it's been quite the reality check without the fog of oppression on the place. I got to see how things really are. I thought that was huge. She's actually being able to comprehend now what is actually going on.
Beautiful.
In that office. Yeah, and her space, I cleared her space, and she was actually able to detect the swirl of energy. She's a psychic, so I think she actually saw it. But she said the space felt clearer and calmer. And Bob, he didn't even know that I had, when exactly I had did the clearing, and he felt the place clear. He called in a cleaning crew after that, and I didn't even realize it, but he, I guess, being a pack rat and the place being cluttered is putting it lightly for his place. So yeah, this was big for him. Now he's taking pride in his home, and it's clean and clear, and his dog now seems happier. So that's why I did it for Carly, actually. But what we're offering for your group, Nicola, is to clear the website, clear out the computer and your gear. Could be your router, your printer, your iPhone even. And the office space, the environment, so that you're able to, attract incoming clients that actually resonate with your message instead of resonating with fear, which those aren't the clients we're actually looking for. So once we can clear that out, then we can actually get back to business and the business of our message. So what are we going to do? We're going to clear the office space, the computer technology, up to 5 pieces, which is pretty much everything in your office. And it could be, if you don't have a website, if you don't have a business yourself, it could be your Facebook page, which with all the visitors going in there, you really don't, I don't know if you really want to know what's in there. So that's important to get that cleared. But and then we'll raise the frequency of the website to 700 plus. And then we can set an intention, which could be, what's your mission? You know, what are your goals of your business? Who do you want to attract? That's we're going to put that intention into your site or your online property. So that is who you're actually, going to resonate with and will attract. So that is all something that we're going to include in this one package. Plus, I'm going to actually give you the a PDF of keeping your website and computer safe. So these are things that you can do on your own over a weekend. And once you have all those dialed in, now you're going to be more, less prone, should we say, to attacks from a physical standpoint.
Awesome.
Okay, so about that, yeah. And since this is, it's really labor intensive, so 20% off is a huge discount.
It is. Thank you. It's very generous, because I know that there's a lot of time that goes into it, and also energy. Like you put a lot of energy into it, don't you? It's a huge expenditure of energy to raise the frequency of somebody's page so they make more sales. And for $547, for me, that's a no-brainer. That's really easy, because it's an insurance policy and making sure that you make 10, 20, 30, 100 times that. Because sometimes you're not making sales, not just because you're saying the wrong thing or you're not getting enough traffic. It's because the traffic that you are getting sent off. So conceivably you get cleared, and you've had customers had that, and they actually make the money back like the next day or 2 days later. So it's a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Like Val, the couple slides back, said that right after the clearing, she had more customers come through her website as actual client sales that she made that she hadn't seen in the last 10 months.
Yeah.
So how many was that? I'm not sure, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So good things happen when you get all the junk and all the gremlins and all the interference and things that are actually out there trying to sabotage you cleared out.
Yeah, because I often get emails from people saying that they tried to get hold of me 6 months ago and I never got their emails. I never got anything from them. And so they said, I'm just giving it one last ditch effort to try to get to you. And all of a sudden I get to them, and it turns out to be a $20,000 client. And I'm going, wow, 6 months ago, I could have done with that $20,000, and I would have loved to have had her, on my thing. And she could have done with my help, because I help people, clarify and monetize their mission. So they get a lot of fast results after working with me. So we missed out on each other because of this sort of stuff. So, $547 is nothing, and compared to what's going to come back at you, I think. So that's really awesome. So you go over to highvibewebsites.com/packages. And for those of you watching the replay, I'm just going to put a link underneath, or a button or something. You can just press that and go there directly and grab that while that discount is available, because I think that this is just it's a must, and it's a no-brainer for people that are doing business online, especially if you're making a difference in the world and you want to make a difference in the world. You want to impact more people. You can't impact them if you've got something sitting on your website sending all your clients and customers away. Right? Yeah. You're going to think it's you. You're going to think, oh, there's something wrong with me. Nobody loves me. And you're going to go down a rabbit hole of feeling really crap about yourself, when it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the fact that you're an amazing, awesome being with an amazing mission. And as you said, I wrote it down, there is actually an agenda to attack and keep, small businesses from achieving.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that 80% that you talked about, look at those people they gave up on their dream.
Yeah, exactly. That is it. And a lot of new agers go, oh, if it's this hard, maybe it's not meant to be. And I mean, that's a program in and of itself, that idea. And it's like, hang on a second, if it's that hard, it could be that you're being stopped by a malevolent force. So you keep going and you do everything you can to get on the other side, because your mission's important. Everybody's purpose is so important, because that's what's transitioning our planet into this lovely civilization that we're going to live in on the other side of the photon belt.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can't wait.
Yeah. So we're gonna see if anybody here is live, is stayed all the way to the end, has got any questions you wanted to get an on the spot reading. We can do that, but I just want you to also talk about, this thing of on a monthly basis, like we're getting these attacks coming at us constantly. So what do you suggest? Once you've got this clearing and you've got your high vibe your high vibe website, what do you suggest we do next?
Okay, that's great that you brought that up, and yeah, we do have another slide here for the energy boost, and that is to keep everything running smoothly on a consistent basis, because you visit some websites and you can have some things jump back into your computer, that kind of thing. We don't know where you go and what you do, and that's up to you totally. But yeah, you're gonna pick stuff up just from being human and from being out in the world, or from surfing the net, and what's coming through your cable from the internet from outside your house. These things we can't control. But once we do the initial clearing, you've got some old stuff, that's out of the way. So then let's keep fresh, just like you would call in a housekeeper on a regular basis to keep your home
beautiful.
Fresh. Yeah, it's the same concept. You're gonna get peanut butter on the counter.
Peanut butter on my sales page.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. And gunking up the work. So you want to get that, just clean it up and clear it, keep it fresh on a monthly basis. So we do live webinar group calls, so we can all be on there and clear our property, clear our online platforms, our computers, our technology, and our offices all at the same time. And you don't have to be on there. You're registered in the member group, then your stuff will get
cleared, whether you show up live or not. Yeah, I think that's so important. And what I think is really important about getting together monthly as well as business owners and going through this process is you can really encourage each other, because you can get a bit discouraged with all this stuff. And if you find out that other people have been having the same experiences as you, it makes you feel like, oh, it's not just me, so I'm not alone. I don't have to feel personal about this. This is just what's going on out there. And then everybody can lift each other up. You keep each other's spirits high.
Yes. Yeah. And then we do have a high vibe mystic mastermind, which is another way that we can keep in touch with each other, and bounce things back and forth from each other. And it doesn't just have to be on your technology. I mean, I do run a marketing business, so it's all kind of fair game. If you have some questions about your business or your marketing, we're happy to help you out with your business. If you have a message to get out there, we're all for it. We're all over it. We want to all be together here and assist each other to get our message out there and to fulfill our dreams.
Wow. Yeah. Is it Guinevere or Genevieve? Because I know that people spell that name the right. So I do hope I've spelt that right. She's just said, impressive. I seem to attract computer gremlins and hesitate to build a website. Now I know why. Yeah, you're being diverted from your purpose, and you have a huge purpose. So just push past it. Absolutely push past it.
And just say, that's not me.
That's not me. That's right. That's not me. I'm sovereign. That's not me. I'm sovereign. Awesome. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
So basically you've got, let's get clear, let's get your vibes up, and then on a monthly basis, let's keep you there, and then just keep moving so that you're increasing your sales, because you're a marketing person, so you're going to be able to, point people in the right direction of what they need for that. If they need it, so that they can go on to do some more work with you or somebody else or what have you. But really this masterminding, coming together, keeping it clear. So month on month on month, you're going to have a steady increase of sales, instead of, that up and down, how you get these glutton of sales and then nothing. And then, and that concertina effect in your business, which is very difficult to manage. So you'll be able to have, because I'm doing this program, so you're going to be able to have steady increases. So that's going to be absolutely awesome.
Absolutely.
That's not me. Yeah, that isn't you, Genevieve. Guinevere. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not you. Yeah. Yeah. So the monthly, it's going to be fun. Believe me, this is not, we're not just going to sit there and,
No, I would say it's going to be active, right? Getting in there and just getting active. I'm really excited. I can't wait. So how do we get to that website? You've got to get the program first, don't you? Because you've got to get up to date. So you have to have all the clearing first. Is that right? Yeah, and once you go through, once you've bought that, you can immediately sign up for the monthly maintenance package, and you've got some options there depending on, price points for people or their level of commitment that they want to make to themselves and invest in invest in online sales. I mean, quite frankly, anybody doing online business needs this because, as you said, the attack is constant and it's very deliberately targeted towards small businesses who are trying to make a difference in the world. All my clients, in other words, because all my clients are all about stepping up to their higher purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And just as you would take a shower to clean your body, let's get rid of the energetic goo and the gremlins that are out there that have bad intentions for us.
Absolutely.
It does. Yeah. And just as my own experience, just to let you know, totally a 180 in my life, in my business, in my marriage, in my websites, my creativity, my energy. It's just remarkable once you just release that, get that out of you, and just it's like a weight that's been on you for years, and you have no idea.
My goodness, that's really awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'll be able to report back because I'm about to do a launch, and I've hired Marlene to make sure that my opt-in pages, my social media, my website, sales page, everything is ready for this launch to be able to attract, the very people that really need my help and that I would love to work with. And I know what my results are, and I know all the little sabotage things that normally happen. So I'm going to be able to report back to everybody to say, hey, this is what's happened as a result of working with Marlene. This is really tangible. And and just give a report of what happened. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about this launch because I found you and I found your work. So thank you so much for joining my program. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known about you.
Yes, and the webinar itself was cleared before we started, so I haven't heard any interference or
exactly, which is it's been the most stable thing I've ever done online. So thank you for that. That's really great. If anybody's got any last minute questions for Marlene or myself, just put them in the chat box now. Otherwise, we're going to end and we'll get on with our day. Awesome. Guinevere just said that she had a little bit of trouble getting in. That can actually happen when you first start with Zoom. So, because you need to download the software and all that sort of thing, but it takes a bit of time. But awesome. I hope you're going to continue to work with Marlene and get your mission out there and serving people, because there's a lot of people that need help, isn't there, Marlene? I mean, this is a time where people have fallen over and they think it's them. And so they're going to clearing practitioners and they're going, low self-esteem, lack of self-love, lack of self-belief. And it's not that. It's like we go down the wrong rabbit hole. It's not that. It's not you. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, and it's easy. It's actually, it's very simple. It's not, you don't need a shrink. You don't need to go to a psychiatrist for 20 years on this. This is not.
Yeah.
Required.
Yeah. There's some funky crap going on out there, and it's there. And as I said, it's still all part of your story to experience, but don't take it personally, and because I've learned that one from bitter mistakes. I mean, but anywho, it has been fantastic, Marlene. Just absolutely awesome, and I'm looking forward to getting this out to everybody so they can watch the replay. And I'll be meeting the people that have decided to make this investment in their business, to really increase their sales by making sure that the things that sit on your website, making sure you don't make sales, is no longer there. and everything else that goes with it. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for all the experiences you've had to go through to bring you to this point so you can get this message out into the world.
Well, but yes, that's why I've done it, I'm sure. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, part of your purpose. And
Totally.
and thanks everybody for showing up, and much love to you, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye. Bye for now.
Namaste. Mm-hmm.